Hi everybody, this is Dave from Geekanoids and welcome to a new video. This is part of my Business Time series, and in today's Business Time we're going to be talking about connecting with your customers. Now this particular video can apply to all different genres of video, so if you're in the service industry you can connect with your customers and clients. If you're in the retail industry you can connect with the customers that walk into your business, and if indeed you're a content creator like me on YouTube, you can in fact connect with your audience or your viewers. So all of these apply to various different businesses, so please do listen up, do take part as well. This is a live broadcast, we have got the live chat going on as well, and if you want to leave me a comment or question you can use the live chat. If you want to leave me a super chat you can hit that dollar symbol and that will actually highlight your question or comment. And if you're watching this after the live event, of course, you can leave me a comment underneath the video and I'll answer as many as I can. So to give you a bit of background, if you haven't watched any of the other Business Time series videos, I've been self-employed myself for 25 plus years. And I've gained a lot of knowledge and experience over those years. I've always been happy to be sort of very sharing and caring with the community I've built up here on Geekanoids. I'm happy to share these tips and tricks that I've found over the years with you in the hope that it helps you become more successful. So the first thing I want to talk to you about before we take a look at the live chat is actually how you can connect with your customers either via social media or by actually meeting your customers, or indeed by going to various sort of networking events. And let's take a look at social media first, because that plays a big part in so many people's businesses nowadays, and it's a great way to actually connect with your business, to connect with your customers. And you can use various platforms. The main ones of course are something like Twitter. We've also got Facebook, we've got Google+, we've got LinkedIn, various different social media platforms. The main one is obviously Twitter that springs to mind for most people, and I treat that as like a news ticker tape, so for very short messages, not necessarily to build up long-term and good relationships with your customers, more for delivering an instant message to them. And the reason I say that is because Twitter moves very, very quickly. Facebook is a great place to actually build up long-term relationships with your customers because you've got that threaded conversation on the posts on Facebook. So take advantage of that. Post something really engaging on Facebook and encourage a conversation to start there. We've of course got YouTube as well. Of course we've got the comment section underneath YouTube videos which can be used for a very similar thing. And then LinkedIn is really ideal for if you're in a business-to-business relationship with people. So if you're maybe in the service industry and you're offering your particular service that your business offers to other commercial or business clients. So social media can play a big part, and I just want to talk to you briefly about how not to use social media. And I think it's very, very important. It depends on your business, of course. Using myself as an example, I run two different Twitter accounts. One for my main sort of Geekanoids channel where I share what I'm doing, I have conversations, etc. And the other one I do is Geek Discounts, where I publish tech deals. And the reason I wanted to clarify that is because what I wanted to suggest you is to not try and sell to your customer, your client or your viewer at every single opportunity. Now with Geek Discounts that's slightly different, so that's a differentiator there in the fact that I am sharing links there that will be trying to sell on every single opportunity. But for the most part, if you're in the service industry or indeed the retail industry, it's a really good idea not to try and sell on every single post, because then you come across as ingenuine and very needy and not communicating properly with your audience and potential new customers. You'll never get a conversation started if you're just trying to sell something every single post. So actually post something that's engaging rather than trying to do this sell mentality. It never works very well, and I think it's a really important factor when you're looking at what you're going to do on social media, perhaps over a day or perhaps you're looking at a whole week. Try and plan something out that's got a good variety of posts rather than continually the same post over and over again. I've talked to you about this in other videos as well, is not to churn out the same stuff time and time again, is to keep it fresh, keep it engaging, and as in the title of this particular Business Time, connect with your customers. Don't just try and sell to them. Now, before I move on to some other tips and tricks, let's take a look inside the live chat. As I mentioned before, this is a live broadcast, and as always, I give a big shout out to the first 4 inside the live chat, and the shout outs go to Dave's Physical Media, Sumyu Nath, Darren Bird and Danadize. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Now, I'm going to take some questions and comments very soon in the live chat, so please do get those questions and comments coming. I have seen some already come in there, but I just want to cover off a very important tip number 3, which we're moving on to, which is to share resources and sources. Now, this again can apply to any type of business, even if you're a YouTube content creator, service industry or retail. If you've got a lack of resources, so you're running out of time, then you can actually call on other businesses and use their resources to free up your time to do what you do best. Don't try and be a jack of all trades, try and be a master of just one or two. And what I mean by that is if you've got time to spare for other businesses, then collaborate with them. Share with them your resources of something that you're really expert in. So if you're very good, again using myself as an example, if you're really good at presenting but not so good at editing your videos, using YouTube as an example, then you concentrate on the presenting and offer maybe another channel the opportunity to have you present a video for them in return for them doing some editing for you. So it's freeing up your time for what you're good at and giving opportunity to collaborate with somebody else. You can use that use case scenario in another sort of business as well, perhaps a service industry. So perhaps you've got a plumber who's a really good plumber but also does electrical work, and then you've got an electrician who's a superb electrician but can't do any plumbing. You see where I'm going here? You could join forces, not on every job, but you can actually use each other's services on various projects and jobs, and then you deliver to the client a really good all-round package from 2 different businesses coming together. It frees up your time because you complete the job quicker as well, and then you can move on to the next paying job. And as I said before, this tip applies to many different types of business. Perhaps you're in a service industry where you offer data restoration services. I talked about this on Twitter earlier today. So perhaps you've got a business where you're offering people to bring in laptops, computers, memory cards, hard drives that have become corrupted, and you're offering to recover their data for them. And perhaps your skill is in working on a particular platform. Maybe you specialise in the Windows platform. Well, if you've got another data recovery service that specialises in the Mac platform but doesn't offer the service to Windows so much, maybe you can use each other's resources again. Very important. And then you're in the end giving a really good all-round package to your client. Maybe you've got a hard drive coming that you can't recover. You hand this off to another company, they do the job, you get a happy customer. Next time around, that particular business that you gave the work to will reciprocate. So it all comes round to collaborating with people. We see many people collaborating on videos on YouTube, for example, and that works extremely well as well. Now, that's resources. I also mentioned about sources. If you can recommend a business to a customer and they have a good experience, so be careful that you only recommend companies that you really trust, then again, the customer or client gets a really good experience. They thank you for recommending that person, and they go away happy. This other company will then reciprocate and share with you their sources or their other sort of services that they can offer your customers, and it's all about this sort of networking that makes for a very good end user experience for the client. So anyway, before I move on to the very last tip or topic for this particular business time, let's take a look inside the live chat. We have got a few questions about the studio. Studio repairs are at a standstill at the moment. They will start progressing a bit better next week. We've also got Pap Sandorbana saying, I skipped him. Big hello to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Dandenize, I was 5th, but I'll take the shout out gladly. Thanks, Dave. I'm only giving shout outs to those who happen to be first 4 in the live chat, and those first 4 may be different to what you're seeing. It may be a little bit out of synchronization. We've also got Uncle Mikey Films. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm going to be 24. A big happy birthday to you, Mikey. I have a fantastic day. 24 years old. Wow, how I wish I was 24 again. That is an awesome day. Have a brilliant day for tomorrow. So let's move on swiftly to another tip for you in this Business Time series. And a really good way of connecting with your customers is, especially on Twitter, I see this happening a lot lately, is to actually help customers out, again, without trying to sell to them at every opportunity. So if you've got people asking for support, either directly to you or indeed to a similar business, then jump in and actually offer some assistance. So you can do this quite cleverly by actually following particular hashtags on Twitter, or for doing keyword searches on various social media platforms. See what people are talking about, and if you spot somebody having difficulty in a particular field that you expertise in, then jump on in and say, I can offer you some advice if you'd like it, or just jump straight in with the advice. You know, don't seem too pushy. And again, whatever you do, if you are doing this sort of help and it's not somebody who's directly contacted you, it's very off-putting if you go in and offer the advice and then straight away going for like a direct sell of your services. That's not the done thing. Simply offer up your help and dedicate a little bit of time to each day. Maybe you can only dedicate 20 or 30 minutes each day to this particular task, but continually helping people will gain you a really good amount of respect in that particular field, and then you'll find people actually reaching out to you and asking about your services rather than you trying to push your services on them. And Twitter is a great place to do this. Facebook also has a really good feature where you can set up a group. So again, if you specialize, using my previous example, in data recovery, then set up a data recovery group on Facebook, and you'll find people coming across that group asking to join if it's a closed group, or indeed just posting in the group, maybe asking for advice. And this gives you a great opportunity to actually connect with those potential new customers, and then hopefully when they do need that service, they remember, that Dave from Data Recovery Services actually gave me some really good advice before. Now I need to use that type of service, so I'm going to contact Dave. You know, it really does pay dividends in the end if you do this sort of help and support business for both what you do, but also searching out people in need of that help as well. And the online world is a great opportunity to do this. Going back to the good old days when you didn't have the likes of the internet, that wasn't possible. You had to get out and do cold calling on foot, which is not a greatly appreciated thing nowadays, and certainly not done as much as it used to be done. But you had to get out to connect with your potential customer base, and now you can do it on the internet, on your computer. So you can harness all that power of the internet and really sort of reach out far and wide to potential new customers. So let's have a look inside the live chat again. Raymond Moore is saying Dave is the best example of a YouTuber that really connects with his audience. That's really kind of you to say. And just to clarify that, I've always been very grounded, and I'm very grateful as well for what I've built up on Geekanoids over the past 12 years, and I'll never change. A lot of people helped me in my startup days. The one I remember most, and again, this is this thing about things coming around, people giving you help. When I was first starting out, I reached out to Adam from the Maccast. So if you want to check that out, check out maccast.com. And I needed help on something, and Adam didn't need to help me. And what he did, instead of just replying to me and offering me help, he actually recorded a little tiny video. I think it was about 30-40 seconds long, might have been a little bit longer, and then he sent that video to me explaining how I sorted out the problem that I'd reached out about. How cool is that? He didn't need to do that. I wasn't paying him for anything. I wasn't even going to return the custom. I would always return the favour, but he wasn't selling anything. He couldn't sell anything to me, but he reached out and offered me that help, and I've remembered that all these years. And if anyone asks me if I can give them a recommendation for somebody who knows Macs inside out and sort of the Mac industry and a good podcast to listen to, then I'd always recommend Maccast. So that's a good example of how you connect with other people and actually collaborate, share resources and sources, and what goes around comes around. So that's a really good example of that. We've also got Paps and Urbana. Big thanks for having us entertained and informed. Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. Craig Bradshaw. Dave, can you talk about the different streams of connecting with customers? Social is a key part, but which social networks are best? Well, Craig, it's very, very difficult to differentiate what would be best for particular types of businesses, but I think I sort of clarified that a little bit in the early part of this broadcast, and I'll touch on it again. Twitter moves at a very fast pace, so I think with Twitter you need to be really statement based and informational. In what I do, there are not many lengthy conversations because you lose the length of the thread when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody, and it all gets mixed up in the noise of Twitter. If you follow a lot of people, that your Twitter timeline can move very fast. So I say Twitter is for very short communication based sharing. I would say Facebook is a really good place to have longer conversations, troubleshooting, discussing certain topics, because you can expand on replies on the posts on Facebook and really see a lot of people getting involved and interacting with each other. Google Plus, I don't really see a lot of value myself in Google Plus. I know a lot of photographers use it to share their photos, and they get sort of +1s and comments on their photos on Google Plus. I don't use that so much myself. And then LinkedIn was my other example, which I really think is good for connecting with businesses that maybe you're looking to climb into another position. Maybe you're looking to change jobs and you've got your resume on LinkedIn and your experience and your endorsements. It's also a great place for connecting with other businesses with the potential of either sharing or offering services to each other. Instagram I didn't touch on. I think obviously Instagram is very visual. So again, don't sell every opportunity on Instagram. I think it's more about sharing something that's visually appealing to your customers. And if you're in a business that deals with something that looks nice in a photograph, that's a fantastic marriage of Instagram and the service you offer or the product you offer that can work really well. So if you sell, make or retail something that's visually appealing, then maybe your focus should be on Instagram. So great question. Really very, very, very good question. Saxon says, one of the nicest people on YouTube. You really connect with your followers and make us feel as involved as possible to deserve more subs than what you have. That's really nice of you to say. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Raymond Moore, Dave, do you think Apple is still connecting and listening to their customers with all the weird moves that they made? No, I don't. I don't think Apple will listen to their customers. You can see some companies really listening, because when they bring out further iterations or generations of a product, you can see they've really listened to the customer feedback and made pretty much all the changes that were asked of them from one generation to the next product. Apple seem to do whatever direction they're going in. They really do, and it's so frustrating because I love Apple products, but certainly of late I do not think that they are listening to their customers at all. We've also got Craig coming back in terms of the question, which networks are considered more toxic. I mean, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. I certainly get some toxic comments on my videos, but my frame of mind and what I suggest to a lot of people is, even blog posts sometimes get awful comments, is that you don't even focus on those. You skip past them, you block them, you delete them, whatever you want to do, or you filter them out. Just don't concentrate on the sort of toxic comments. Always concentrate on the positivity, and then you'll find that your time on social media as a business and as an onlooker is going to be a lot more pleasurable. So yeah, only concentrate on the really positive nature of online, and you're going to find bad comments on pretty much every single platform. Darren Gator, if you want to read a great book, here's a tip from Darren. If you want to read a great book and get more hints and tips, I didn't even read the rest of that. That's quite I'm very humbled, really humbled that you said this, Darren, but I thought you were going to suggest somebody else's book. Darren goes on to say, if you want more hints and tips, get Dave's book on Amazon. It's titled Your YouTube Success. I'm almost blushing because I thought you were going to... I didn't read down the whole comment, but thank you for recommending my book. I really do appreciate it. It's called Your YouTube Success. I may as well plug it now. It's on Amazon, on the Kindle. I'm pretty sure you can get it on Kindle Unlimited for free if you want to read it for free, or it's just a few pounds if you want to buy it. But thank you for the recommendation. I really do appreciate it. And this is all about sharing as well. Even though I put the book up there and it's got a value to it, so I'm selling, I made it as cheap as possible, and of course it is available free on Kindle Unlimited as well. So if you do want some extra sort of YouTube based tips, then that's well worth reading. So thank you again for the recommendation. So anyway, that is pretty much it for business time. We'll just recap on how I suggest you connect with your customers. Obviously rewind the video once it goes live on the channel and you can sort of watch back over it again. But what I've covered here is really using the correct social media platform in the correct way for your type of business, be that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or one of the other platforms. And also a very important factor, just to recap on this, is don't sell every opportunity. Share things that are just nice and entertaining and haven't got a pound sign at the end of every single tweet or Facebook post. Also share your resources with like-minded businesses and swap sources as well. Share your sources for really good services with your customers, because then it gives the customer a really good user experience. And of course, offer up as much help as you can, because I truly believe if you help others, then they will come back to you. So that's it for this particular episode of Business Time. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. So thanks again. Have a fantastic Friday, and we've got the weekend coming up as well, so have a fantastic weekend as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.